I am live. And it's also like 4 o'clock in the morning here in New York City. I really don't understand if anyone will be up. I'm just doing this video because I know I need to get these out. Um, I've been just kind of in some kind of way since like around the holidays, like Christmas time. It was just kind of like, very slow around here, but it was actually quite good. And, I've experienced my new moon energy. I've cleansed. I've done some, some manifestation rituals, or I have manifested some things, and I'm still working on manifesting some things. And, this is really just the very beginning of 2019. Something popped out. But, I have Venus in Leo. So, and I'm a Libra Sun and Libra Rising. So, Venus is my chart ruler, and I'm ruled by Venus. And being that it is in Leo, it's very significant for me. It's sextile energy as well, meaning harmonious energy, energy that works well, complementary. So, Leo is very significant for me, that energy. So I'm going to leave those two cards out, and I'm going to cut the deck here, and I'm going to make those two be the ones that are at the top, or just, the first ones that I lay down. So if I cut it, see what's going on with you guys, Leo, and all my Leo pals out there. Okay, Council Chief, this is the Emperor. So there's something going on involving structure in terms of like what structures you're able to build upon, or how you're able to implement certain principles within a structure, within a foundation. Really, it has to do with that. How are you asserting yourself, and how are you making things work for yourself based on the plans that you've set out, that you've put in place? Do you see your plan taking shape? Are you following the rules that you've set for yourself? And do you see things moving in a way that you've designed it? That type of thing. And if there is something that of importance that you're overseeing, are you paying close attention to whatever it is that you need to be focused on right now? And it's focused in a different way. It's in a way of achieving something that is of something that is of substance, something that is a full structure or a shape. You know what I mean. Working on something, being very assertive at getting things done. Okay, so in the middle here you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is talking about feeling like you might be feeling a little bit restricted in terms of something manifesting itself, or something like growing at the rate that you felt like you wanted it to. It may not be moving fast enough for you, and you may be just kind of like reflecting on how it's affecting you emotionally, right? Because you put some time and some effort into something, and it really is starting to wear on your confidence, right? Your confidence is being weighed down, or weared on, eroded a little bit, just because you are waiting for something to happen. You are waiting to see, the energy that you put into something, or the consideration that you put into something, um, what you learn in a process, or something that you begin to put some time and effort and energy into. You really would like to see what's gonna come of it. The sevens do talk about, the chariot energy, and being able to keep yourself fully confident, right? Feeling like you really can achieve this goal that you've set out for, that you've the seed that you've planted, so to speak. It's definitely saying don't give up. It's saying have the endurance, and have the stamina to get through whatever it is that you feel like might be challenging at this time. You might even be feeling like you're experiencing some obstacles in terms of like maybe your transportation might be an issue right now. Your car might be an issue for you. Some of you guys might be dealing with a car, like in terms of like getting to work. Is the car running right? Do you have enough Are there too many miles on the car? Do the tires need to be changed? Just oil need to be changed? Something like that. That's kind of like something that you're dealing with right now, like your method of your method of transportation, because the council chief here at the bottom of the deck is Aries energy. It's the emperor, and Aries is about movement forward, not so much long distances like a Sagittarian type of fire energy is, but you know, it definitely gets things moving. You know, it's like a catapulsion, not even catapulsion, but acceleration in a sense. It's like putting the foot on the gas, and it's almost like you put your foot on the gas, but you're not really seeing the vehicle isn't moving very quickly, right? That type of thing. Um, hey y'all, if you guys could like the video, I know there's only a couple of you guys in here, but it's really late, so it's okay. Um, right. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. It definitely has something to do with the energy and the time that you put into something, the focus that it took for you to apply yourself, right? And then definitely took an element of discipline. So you're like, well, all of those elements are there. All of those elements combined make me feel like I'm doing a great job. Why am I not getting what I feel like I need to be getting out of this? You know what I mean? And you might be questioning an experience that you put some energy into as well. You might be asking someone that, you know, gave you some advice or gave you some sort of like mentorship, so to speak. It could even be like a lover that may have given you some advice based on, you know, what you needed to do. You know, you may have just relied, you may have put, you relied on them for the time that they spent listening to you and being, you know, you confiding in them and just kind of like getting their opinion. It was almost like their opinion about what it was that you were going to invest some time and energy into was important to you. And so you took that to heart, you used it, you know, you were definitely trying to find like a sense of balance, you know, a sense of pleasure and peace. It's almost like you were trying to better a situation, or some of you are really trying to put some energy and some aggression towards making a situation better, and it's like time is an issue and you're feeling restricted based on the amount that you're able to do within in a small amount of time, that type of thing. And then you have the Three of Wands, which is the joint effort, three joint effort of the Three of Wands, crossing you as your immediate influence, your challenge. This is Sun and Aries. So the challenge is really you having the confidence and believing that you actually do have what it takes. You know what I mean? To say, don't think that not trying is an option. You know what I mean? It's like you won't know if something is going to be possible or if anything can proceed or you can progress in doing anything if you don't try. You know what I mean? It's like put the energy into something so you can see what you get back. It's saying for every action there's a reaction. So unless you do something about it, unless you do something about wanting to see this change happen, this change occur, or wanting to get this vehicle fixed, you know what I mean? Stop, you know, waiting, because the threes do talk about waiting. You might be waiting for something to come back, more information, or it just may be you might be waiting for somebody to come along and fix it. You might be waiting for somebody to like um, detail the car or something. I don't know why I'm getting that. Some of you guys might be waiting for someone to like, you know, just kind of look at your car and make sure that it's drivable, it's safe to drive. Let me just flip over all the cards so I can just start talking about them. Okay. Damn. All right, well, that's in the past, so that's good. So we'll get to that in a second. Yes. You just want to be careful that you don't start taking it out on people. You know what I mean? Just because you're not seeing something develop in the way that you wanted to see it develop, when people ask you about it, don't be offended. You know what I mean? Don't respond emotionally or don't react emotionally to people when they really are just trying to, you know, share and maybe relate on your experience that you might be feeling restricted in. They might be able to, you know, tell you about something that they may have gone through, right? The three of wands. They may be able to share or be very receptive to this experience that you're having, and that could just, you know, make you feel a little bit better about everything that's going on. They might even provide like a moment of clarity for you based on the information that they might be sharing with you. And it's trusted information too, so you don't have to think that this person is just like feeding you info just so you can, you can be pleased by whatever it is that they're saying. Um, Whatever this is that you're going through, or that you're putting some faith in, or your faith is being like a little bit tested here, seeing this thing through. The reason why you put the energy into it is because in the past something happened. Something was destroyed. Something came along and had to be basically ripped, torn down, torn apart, ripped to shreds, wrecking ball. And it was because of the awareness of like maybe how like a situation that you may have relied upon wasn't reliable anymore, right? It may have even begun to feel a little bit toxic in a way, that type of thing. Hi. Yes, love you guys. Love me some Leos, okay? Forever. But yeah, you got the tower in the past, and this is just talking about, the universe coming in and tearing down old structures that really don't that aren't a part of your reality anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you going? It's like you're continuing to stay in a place where there isn't going to be any movement forward, and that was really what was restricting you, and you're still feeling a little bit restricted by it. It's like the aftermath, mate, right? Because you're waiting to see what's going to happen next, right? Because you've kind of set some things in place, you've put some wheels into motion, but it's like you just don't see things happening fast enough, right? But it's okay, at least the change has occurred, right? That's something to be grateful for. So you have to be aware of the harmonization of things, right? Looking at the wreckage afterwards, seeing where you can start over. And it almost is like a form of cleansing, right? We talk about how finite Earth is, yeah? We talk about, how like fleeting areas, and it's very quick and it's in and it's out. Water, it can just go almost all over the place. Fire is destructive as well, and the tower does have to do with fire, and energy too, because it's like that energy from like the Aries' horns, which really can do some damage, and it can be very destructive. It's like an impulse maybe that may have destroyed something for you, or maybe there was something that someone did, or there might have been an accident, there might have been a car accident, right, in the past, very recently, due to like maybe speeding, or somebody might have been driving too fast, or somebody might have just been like driving recklessly, that type of thing. And maybe your car got a little bit damaged, and now you've just been dealing with that whole situation. For some of you guys might be dealing with an Aries, right, that you might have been like working with. He may have been your boss, and they may have just been making it hard for you to acknowledge your work, that type of thing. It could definitely be you needing to feel like people understand why it is you put so much time into your projects, that type of thing as well, because you're getting fed up, some of you, with your work not being appreciated. Sorry, I had to drink some water. Yeah, exactly. Some of you definitely are feeling like your work isn't being appreciated. Some of you probably quit a job because your work wasn't being appreciated, and now you're feeling restricted because, like, ooh, I quit my job. I acted on impulse. Council chief says, I'm my own boss. I do what I want. And you definitely have the matriarch of pipes here, which is the queen of wands, and she's the best witch in the deck. She can almost like quit a job that day, and that afternoon have another job at a place and be on the payroll. You know what I mean? So this is kind of like you understanding that you definitely are the last dragon. You possess the power of them all. If you guys out there know that movie from the 80s. Okay, and I know that some people who watch this video are going to comment on that. I think it's on Netflix. The Last Dragon. You are the last dragon, honey. Right? We're all the last dragon for ourselves. What we say goes. As long as it's, you know, uh, living in our own truth, and doing what's right for us. So this is you leaving a situation, right? that you probably felt like you weren't being appreciated in. And this is so crazy because this is paralleling an experience that I know another Leo had, and I wasn't even going there at the beginning. So I'm just going to keep reading the cards the way I've been reading. Yeah, so that's something that some of you guys have been dealing with, that type of thing. Um, and you are at this moment feeling very emotionally weighed down by an experience that you may have been dealing with over a period of time. You have a lot of Saturn here, and you have a lot of Aries energy here, Mars, right? Fire, destruction, aggression, opposition, action, impulse, that type of thing. So, and there's some emotions here that are involved with the impulse. Maybe post, maybe echoing, maybe resonating. Maybe it's those like, when a water droplet drops in the water, in a puddle of water, a body of water, large, and then it does like that ripple thing this way. I forget what you call it. I'm sorry. Um, but it's kind of like that for every action. Boop, there's a reaction. And you just kind of have to let that energy dissipate. Because this is almost kind of like there's an aftermath here that's going on because the tower is in the past position. I'm not making it up. The tower is in the past position. In the present right now, you're feeling restricted. The time that you've put into something or the time that you've spent thinking about something, right? Because this does have to do with the seventh sign as well, which is Libra. Time, Saturn, exalted in Libra. This is a Taurus card. So it really does have to do with commitments and relationships, the amount of respect that had to go within that, the amount of time that went into it, effort. Also, just not feeling like your efforts or your work was being appreciated in the way that you know that it should have probably been. Just sharing the appreciation in ways that you would appreciate it, because everybody doesn't like to be appreciated in the same way. If I like getting chocolates as an apology, Sam may not like getting chocolates as an apology. He may actually just like you talking to him and talking about what went on. You know what I mean? And don't give me no fucking chocolates. I just want you to talk to me about what's going on. It's that type of thing. Anyway, can't control how somebody reacts or responds. Anyway, yeah, so in your moon placement here, which is like, hidden issues, secrets, also things that you're not willing to tell people, but that things that are going on, right? It is also talking about having the strength to deal with your own emotions, being able to identify with your emotional process and understand what it is teaching you, because this is Saturn in Pisces, right? You're learning lessons on a subconscious level. You're learning lessons from places that aren't like people. You know what I mean? It's like that type of thing. So when you start getting those messages from your subconscious place, right, which is a very mystical activity going on for you at this time, you have to listen to it and you have to sort of like heed the call, because really you're learning how to listen to your emotions. You're learning how to process it. You're learning how to use the cup element, water, as a tool, because it is the thing that makes you part of this whole experience, right? You are mostly water. Everything that exists now exists because of water. Well, most of it. Every living thing, we're all connected by way of that. So water is actually very important. So listening to your subconscious is something that is way more important than we usually give value to, right? Or give importance to. It's realizing that you needed to from something, and now you have to hold yourself accountable. Be emotionally responsible for that decision, for that choice, or just be acknowledge that it's going to be your choice to make to walk away from this thing if you have not walked away from it yet. And you might just be, going back and forth about it. It could be a love thing, it could be a soulmate type of thing. And that's why it's so difficult. That's why it might be so hard for some of you, right? For some of you, not for everybody, just for a few of you. And it might have to do with something that went down in August. It might have something to do that with a Pisces or in Pisces season, March. You know, it definitely has something to do with courage and strength and vulnerability. Being able to recognize that when you acknowledge and admit to your own vulnerabilities, then in that same instance, you are also admitting to having great strength and great courage. And it takes a great deal of emotional wherewithal, emotional strength to walk away from something that you feel like still needs you, even though you don't need it. Right. Okay. Hello, 2019. Yeah, that matriarch of pipes, get out there and do it. And if you're already doing something and you feel like you want to go in a different direction, maybe that's what you should do too. Maybe you should start looking to see what that other direction looks like for you. Think about it. Start daydreaming about it. Imagine what it might be like. Can you do it? If there's something that you want to do that you might have to talk yourself out of talking yourself out of doing, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, I'm going to talk myself out of it. You sign up for something and then you're like, I'm going to talk myself out of it. And then you're like, I have to talk myself out of not talking myself out of it. So for some of you, don't give up. Don't sacrifice an opportunity just because you're being a baby, right? Or you might be kind of like a little mopey about something. Yeah, don't let that stop you. Don't let your emotions or your sadness stop you from recognizing opportunities, right? Take the opportunity, but you can be sad when you take it, but still take it. You know what I mean? Because then you won't be sad for too long, maybe. And then if you don't take the opportunity, you'll be like, damn, bitch, that was sad for that little time. But like after I wasn't sad anymore, I wish that I would have taken it. Like that type of thing. Mm. Or you might be relying on something that's taking too long, right? It's almost like they may have said that they were going to get back to you, the boss. They said that they were going to get back to you sooner, or you were hoping that they were going to get back to you sooner. And then this other opportunity comes along that you already have all of the answers to, or all of the major concerns, right? The immediate questions, those have all been answered. But you're like, damn, they're not going to pay me as much, and this other job seems kind of more swanky and cool. Well, it's like the other place. Take that job too. Listen, take both of them, child. And if you have to quit one, then hey, you just started. Who cares? For some of you, not for everybody. Um, your Mars position is the Nine of Swords. And that's Mars. That's a Mars card in a Mars position. And this is really just saying that there's way you're putting too much energy into things that don't really concern you. Or maybe you might be creating more confusion for yourself than is healthy, than that is healthy. How am I formulating these words right now, these sentences? But Gemini is a sign that is already very busy, right? That type of energy. It's very quick, it's very fast, it comes in, it goes out, and then some things don't really attach very well, or really latch on very quickly enough to make sense of things. So it's almost like things are going on so quickly for you that you haven't really made sense of a lot of it yet. But you are assessing, you're kind of assessing too much. You're almost done with the worry, right? You're almost done with the worry because it's like you're getting yourself to a point where like you're going to make a choice to like in the worry, right? Or something's gonna come along and maybe, it could be related to this tower thing that happened in the past. I don't know. But something definitely is gonna come along and change this for you. You might even be dealing with like a Sagittarian type of energy. Or maybe, you're kind of going a little bit. I feel like there might be an opportunity that kind of gets a little bit, kind of moves quickly, right? Or may require you to move quickly on it, and it's going to give you a lot of anxiety. You're going to be stressed out about it just a little bit, you know. Um, yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of Sag Virgo energy here too, as well. Because the ninth month is um, September, so that's Virgo energy, right? And the nine here goes back to the Hermit as well, ninth month. But then also like the ninth sign is Sagittarius, so that's why I was going there. It's kind of like it's just going 0 to 60. It's a little bit too out of control. These thoughts, and this could be like also just trying to explain things to people or trying to come up with some answers or just information for people, and you might just be getting a little bit overwhelmed with the fact that you know something requires answers right now, and you might just be overwhelmed with that. mm. It definitely saying that you should continue to put energy towards becoming more grounded, right? Get used to feeling a little bit more secure, right? Some of you might be feeling a little bit like mentally unfocused. Yeah. You might feel like you need to get more focused. Some of you are staying up late at night. Some of you are like me. I'm staying up late right now. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I should be like sleeping. But we're going to get your reading done, right? Yeah, you have a couple nines here in the reading, and the nines are talking about completions. They're also talking, nines have to do with things being very cyclical, cycles happening, right? It's like the end of cycles. That's what you're dealing with. You're also dealing with the anxieties of the end of a cycle. How comfortable you feel at the end of a cycle, because the nines are really, the last number before we go into 10, which is just two numbers that already kind of existed, right? That we just kind of put next to each other. It's not like they're new numbers, they're coming together to formulate new numbers. So, really, you've gone through something, some process that like you're not going to really be going back on, right? You're not going back to cover any bases. This process that been going through and that you're still having anxieties about is literally coming to the end of itself. So wherever you are, if you have just gotten there, if you've just gotten a job, or you just moved, or you just started a relationship, or whatever, whatever phases were going on before you got to where you were now have shifted, and now you're going to get ready to start anew. You're not there yet. There's still some things that have to like play out, right? Before you get to this new beginning, but it's definitely saying that you're starting to understand a little bit more about your situation because you've been analyzing it, you've been assessing things, you've been, examining the different principles, the different variables. You've been trying to make out, make plans, better plans, right? More clear cut, concise plans, or even if it's a broad plan, it's a broad plan that has, points of interest in it that you can kind of like zero in on, that'll keep you on your trajectory, right? Because you do have the Seven of Pentacles here at the center of the reading, which is talking about the confidence that something is going to be more productive. It's going to be more fruitful. You're going to start to see things happen. You'll be able to have choices that you can make based on these things that you have produced for yourself, right? Because you're looking to have more choice, that type of thing. And it's not like choice in terms of two, but it's options. That's the thing. The seven also teaches you that you do have options as well. I want you guys to remember that. Um, Anxiety is about feeling comfortable again, for sure, in your routine. Some of you are feeling that. Some of your schedules may have changed, like the time that you get up to go to work may have changed. If you were, working later, maybe at night, maybe now you're working in the daytime, or maybe if you're working in the daytime, you're working at night, and that's just very different for you. So it kind of makes you feel like you're living a different lifestyle, for some of you. Um, in your Venus placement here, the six, you have the Six of Pentacles, right? So this is the advice. This is saying seek out those resources that are going to be, there to provide you with more security in terms of work, right? Mm. It's also saying really put the consideration into looking at all of the different parts that make up a whole, and that when you look at something, when you look at a product, when you look at a picture, when you look at a dish, when you look at a company, because this is Taurus, so it is talking about commitments, and it's talking about, like institutions as well. It's not a five, it's a six, but it's like after that institution has been established, what goes inside of that institution? What are the principles that institution is based upon, right? What's instilled within the people that come into that institution? What are they all understanding, and they are all sort of exemplifying, so that it can be a harmonious experience for us all? Compromise, sharing, beauty, understanding how to appreciate one another. It's saying that that's the type of environment that you need to be in, right? And that's the one that you're going to thrive in most best of all, right? And this is not a place where you are the star, okay? This is a place where like everyone is, where everybody feels important. No one has to be worried about management or anybody coming in and being crazy or saying anything, or just doing crazy stuff. It wouldn't be any of that. You need to be in this place where everyone feels like, it not as like kumbaya, but like, wow, we really do appreciate what we all bring to the table here. It's saying you should seek out, groups like that, in terms of like if you're looking to invest your time, energy, or money into anything. If you're willing, or if you're going to invest your skills or your gifts into something with a group of people, you want to really make sure that it's something that you feel like you can handle being in. Yeah, just look at all of those things. Look at how things are, how people are communicating with each other, body language, all of those types of things. Just be aware of that. Also, it's saying that you should allow yourself to have those things that you need. It's saying that you definitely want to consider like the necessities, right? The things that you need to feel secure. It's kind of like knowing where everything is, right? And knowing how to get everything, how to get to everything. And then this is also one of, it's saying like if you can't, someone may actually ask you for some assistance in a monetary way. But if you don't have that, then you can provide them with something else. You can point them in a different direction. You can give them a resource, right? You can maybe help them with, just your point of view or something like that, your wisdom or your knowledge. Whatever it is that, if you know that somebody needs help, or you know that somebody could use a hand in some kind of way, do that, because you never know, the person that you're lending a hand to, or that you're offering, some of your time to, that you are investing with, they might actually be the person that has an opportunity for you, that's going to complete this cycle, right, of you feeling worried about your routine and your consistency, how motivated you might be feeling. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you don't have that discipline of that routine job, then it's almost like your motivation starts to come to be questioned, or you start to feel, you know, you start to question your own motivation, and then that makes you feel a little bit antsy. Before I started doing this reading, I was like getting kind of antsy in my pantsy. But then you did get the tower, and you did get the Trail of Tears, which is the Seven of Pentacles, talking about itching to move forward, itching to have fruit grow, itching to have something, develop faster, right? Because I've been waiting for that. That's what I've been expecting, right? We all get impatient. Now it's time for your future cards. I'm going to read the outcome and the energy moving forward, and then I'm going to read the future. So it's the outcome, the future, and the ascendant here, which is what you're rising to. What is being projected towards the future that we are like not able to do anything about. That's probably going to be more helpful than not. And these are some pretty okay, good future cards. Definitely some energy and some movement coming in fast, and you're going to have to have the courage and the strength to be able to recognize those opportunities when they come in. Yes. And understand that, don't be overwhelmed by the opportunity when it does come in. You want to just like jump at it, you know what I mean? Because this could be something that really is going to get you to the next level that you like to be in. And if it's not going to get you next level, it's going to get you to a level, okay? And it's going to help you in this cycle, like I said. In the future here, you have the Six of Swords. So this is moving on to better, a better situation, one that feels less turbulent, one where, you don't feel like this sense of, for some of you, abuse. Some of you may be moving on from an abusive relationship, because you definitely have a lot of Aries energy here, and you have some Saturn energy here, right? You have the Tower here. Um, yeah, for some of you, it's that, and you're moving on from that. You're kind of, you're feeling good about that. People helped you get out of a bad situation, and that's wonderful. And that could be even like how they invested, and some of you might even be wondering how you can like show your gratitude to somebody that sort of like helped you move on from a turbulent or a toxic situation. It's almost like they had to have some of you. You had to actually have someone come to your place and get your things with you and help you move, some of you, in some way, shape, or form, so that things wouldn't pop off, right? Because you knew how bad it could have gotten, right? Because it's almost like you anticipated this, because this Eight of Cups here is in this moon position. So this is saying that, you have definitely an acute, a heightened emotional awareness towards something that has been making you feel burdened and restricted, and you realize that leaving it is definitely going to have its consequences, right? And it could involve a Capricorn, or somebody who might be an Aquarius or a Saturn influence. It could even be a Pisces here, definitely. Um, mhm. A lot of mixed feelings, petty feelings, that type of thing for some of you guys. Definitely in terms of like that abusive relationship that I'm kind of getting here. Um, and this is Capricorn new moon energy, honey. So you guys are starting to like set new phases in motion. New chapters of your lives are being started. Those pages are fresh right now. The ink is wet. Okay? So, and we're not even really halfway down the first page yet, barely. You know? Saturn, Pluto, the Sun, Mercury, the Moon, all in Capricorn, right? Your life's purpose, your success, your place in the world, right? And if you don't like what your place in the world that you're in right now, then you need to change it for sure. And I know it's not that easy, but it's like you need to start thinking about it. How can you go about making those changes occur, right? And this is long-term stuff because Capricorn. This is talking about mountainous energy. Very high terrain, getting to the top. And think about the energy and the pressure and the force, right? The divine force it takes to create a mountain. And how long it takes. Millions of years. Maybe even more. Right? And it's like volcanoes too. That's very like Mars, Capricorn energy, but then Cancer as well. Mars, the fire, coming from the earth, underneath the core. Because, Mars is exalted in Capricorn, right? Then it's coming up out of the water, right? And then it's just building on itself. And that takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of process, all that stuff. And there's strength there too. It's structures, it's impenetrable structures, right? And you are starting to understand your impenetrable structure based on the things that you've gone through, based on the fears that you've had to face, based on your resentment issues, based on jealousy, based on, hardship, based on control, based on freeing yourself from those emotions that you feel like you've been held prisoner by for so long that are your own. That type of thing. It's difficult and it's hard because we have to understand that our emotions are something that we have to keep at bay. And it's not even really about keeping them at bay. It's about letting them come in to shore and standing there barefoot. Your other future card here at the top of the reading is Sun in Scorpio. Transformation, cleansing, purification, and it's another 6. And when I was talking about this reading at the beginning, I was talking about 3, 6, and 9 and how you add them up and you're always going to come up with numbers that, equal to 9 or are going to be some variable of that, 360 degrees, 3, 6, and 0, that's 9. 45 degrees, 4 and 5, that's 9, right? 180 degrees, 180, that's 9. And you can go on and on and on. But you have a lot of 6s here too. So this is talking about completions, right? Because the 3 is the first little like idea that something can actually exist within itself. Oh, this is a unit that exists within itself. It has its own little strengths, right? And there's more than one side. There's more than 2 sides here, right? It's a little bit more complex, and that complexity brings a little bit more strength of perception, right? So that's a reality there. And then the 6s are like, now we have a place where we can all exist within this complete form and we can share within, we can coexist within this. That's 6. 9 is saying, well, and now we've gotten to this place where we have really been, we really can appreciate this for the level and the stage that it has grown to be, right? and now this is what it is, and it can't be anything more than that. And if it is, we're just gonna refresh it. We're gonna start it over. We're gonna see how we can make it even better. If we're gonna keep the same thing that we know that has gotten to this place that it can't get any greater, any better, it can't develop any more, then it's like take that thing and just make it better. Don't develop on that. Take that thing and just make it even better. That's Virgo energy. You like, but if we already have the product, why are we making another one? Well, time, things become obsolete. We start discovering better materials to use, that type of thing, because everything's always changing anyway. Virgo knows that. Um, you could be dealing with somebody from the past that has Scorpio energy. You might be feeling quite nostalgic. Um, this is also, it's emotional contentment, and by way of understanding that everyone has their own emotional process, and it's like being hypersensitive to someone else's emotions, being subconsciously connected, soully connected. This could be like a soulmate type of energy. Some of you might be getting closer to your soulmate. Some of you. Um, Maybe I'll pull a soulmate card for some of you out there who are really questioning, soulmate type of energy. I'll be right back. It'll be like 2 seconds. Oh, I'm liking this black with this red and white. It's the intensity. Bam. It's here. Sorry. Okay. Ciao. All right, Leo, let's see what's going on with you at 45 minutes. 46 to be exact. I love these Native American cards, you guys. If you guys could like, share, and subscribe this video. I would also like to say that if you'd like a reading with me, please email providencetarotKendrick@gmail.com. And we can talk about like what type of reading we can do for you. Follow me on Instagram at Providence Tarot. You can get content from me and Dale there. You can also follow me on Instagram and my other personal accounts at NYC Kendrick, at Kendrick NYC. Okay? So here's the soulmate card for some of you out there who want this information. I feel you forever in my heart. You are in my thoughts and in the air I breathe. You are a jewel, a sparkling diamond. Your heart is like a great ocean of love. Thank you. Now that's sort of like a soulmate affirmation. Some of these cards, I'm going to pull one from the top too. Some of them just tell you how to, that was just kind of like the copyright card. Here's another one. Different type of message, because I wanted to give everybody something. Your spiritual awareness is growing, and so too is your sexuality. Sensuality is heightened, and this has a magical effect on the one you love. A sacred union is reborn. Love is the present moment. Okay, so some of you need to, get a little sexy. Hey, have at it. You did get the Sun in Scorpio at the very top of the reading. It's talking about nostalgia and children, but it's also talking about, again, Zaddy. All right, so there was a lot of messages in this reading, but you guys, some of you have definitely experienced some great changes, some destruction, some old structures have been like, just like really brought down. You've been analyzing, you've been going over things. Some of you have been going over a little bit too much. Some of you have been feeling like your confidence level needs a boost, in terms of like, how you identify with who you are and what you do now. Especially those of you who were in an abusive relationship, your identity, was something that may have been like taken away from you, and you guys are trying to get that back, right? for those of you who are, you know, not feeling like you're getting your just due at work, it's saying just continue to do your job and invest wisely if you want to stay there. But if you're not there anymore, if you have quit that job that you were at, and you're like, feeling frustrated because you're not seeing things progress and move forward as quickly as you'd like to, it's saying that, just be patient, because I'm getting a lot of cards here that really speak to more harmonious energy going on. There's opportunities here that need to be taken advantage of, coming in, messages, lots of quick things, travel probably for some of you. Some of you might even be traveling to go see someone that you used to know or that you used to be involved with, that you had to leave at some point, or your relationship changed because you went off and you did something different, or maybe they did, that type of thing. Yeah, I think this is done. I'm gonna end the reading here for you guys, and 2019 is gonna be a great year for a lot of us, and just keep an eye on your motivation, right? That's something that you definitely want to stay motivated. You want to stay encouraged, and you want to, just have a very, it's not even really talking to, yeah, a fresh perspective for sure, but a fresh perspective from an old one that's being reimagined. It's kind of been like being like, filtered out. Because there are no aces here, but you have some nines, which says that there is some ace type energy coming in, and then you have the Six of Swords here, which is talking about like a change of focus, because you're switching your mind state, you're switching your environment, right? Because that's Mercury and Aquarius, and that's Aquarius is your environment, and Mercury is on the move. So you're on the move to switch your environment, some of you, and some of you have done that, and now you're just looking around and trying to get comfortable within that. you know I love y'all, Leos. Enjoy your January. Happy 2019. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. And I will see you guys maybe later this month with some things. Or, I'll see you in February for your monthly reading then. All right. Stay confident. Bye.